Your website sounds exactly like the photographer who charges half of your rate, and I can prove it. I'm Sava, head of marketing at WebLingo, and we've helped photographers generate over six figures. And about 3 months ago, I started noticing something strange happening with wedding photographers reaching out to us. They were getting inquiries, but almost no one was booking. Clients would visit their site, look around, and then disappear. So I started looking at their websites to see what was actually wrong. And I kept seeing the exact same phrases on every site. Authentic moments, timeless memories, genuine storytelling. At first, I thought maybe that's just a standard photographer language. But then I looked at 20 sites in one day, and 18 of them had nearly identical first paragraphs, just slightly rearranged. And that's when I realized something weird was happening, and it's costing photographers booking every single day. Let me show you what I mean. So imagine you're a couple looking for a wedding photographer. You Google photographers in your city and open 5 or 6 websites. Here's what you see. Site 1 says, "We believe in capturing authentic moments and capturing timeless memories through genuine storytelling." Site 2 says, "We capture genuine moments and authentic emotions and create timeless memories of your story." The third site says, "Creating timeless memories by capturing your authentic story and genuine moments." These are different photographers, different cities, same words, just shuffled around. Now you're trying to pick one, but you can't tell them apart. Their portfolios all look decent, their prices are all over the place. One charged 2,500, another charges 5,000. So what do? You sort by price and pick someone in the middle or on the lower end. And if they all sound the same, why pay more? And this is happening to photographers right now, and most don't even realize it. They think they're losing bookings because their portfolio isn't good enough, or because couples can't afford them, or because market is too saturated. But the real reason is their website sounds identical to everyone else. In fact, their entire branding sounds like everyone else. Now, what's causing this? ChatGPT. Most photographers discovered AI in the last year or two, and they're using it to write everything. Website copy, Instagram captions, email sequences, all of it, which sounds efficient, don't get me wrong, except ChatGPT is trained on thousands of photographer websites. So when you ask it to write wedding photography copy, it gives you the same phrases everyone else has. Authentic moments, timeless memories, genuine storytelling, because that's what I learned from scraping all of those photographer sites. You're basically asking AI to make you sound like the average photographer website, which makes you completely forgettable. But here's the part most photographers miss. Even if you don't use ChatGPT, you probably still have this problem because you're using photographer language, and photographer language doesn't convert. Let me explain what I mean. So when photographers write their own copy, they talk about things photographers care about, right? Light, composition, candid moments, artistic vision, storytelling. That's how you think about your work. But I've read hundreds of client testimonials at this point, and clients are never talking about light or composition. They're saying completely different things. Things like, "I was so nervous about looking awkward, but the photographer made it comfortable." Or another testimonial, "We had no idea what to do with our hands, but she guided us through everything." Or, "Our timeline was running behind 2 hours, but she kept us organized so we didn't miss anything." And the difference is that you're selling artistic style, but they're buying the guarantee that they won't look bad in their photos and their day won't fall apart. That's a huge gap, and it's on almost every photographer website I look at. The photographer talks about their approach to light and candid storytelling. The client just wants to know how you'll make this easy for them and that they won't hate how they look. When someone lands on your site and doesn't see their actual concern addressed, they keep shopping. Now, let me make this even more concrete. A photographer reached out to us a few months back. She was getting decent traffic to our site, maybe 15 to 20 inquiries a month, but only booking 2 or 3. Her website talked about romantic, candid photography with natural light for couples who value authentic moments. Pretty standard photographer language. So I asked her to send me her last 20 client testimonials because I wanted to see what her actual clients said about working with her. She sent them over and I started reading. First testimonial said that they're terrified of being in front of the camera, but the photographer made it very natural and easy. The second one said that she kept them on a schedule, which was huge because their day was running behind. Third one said that they hated posing and somehow the photos don't look posed at all. Fourth one said that she responded so fast and answered all her questions, and that made them feel comfortable. I kept reading. Out of 20 testimonials, 17 mentioned something about feeling comfortable or not being awkward. 12 mentioned timeline or staying organized, and 8 of them mentioned fast responses or clear communication. 0 mentioned natural light. One person mentioned candid moments, so I asked her, does your website talk about any of this? Making people comfortable who hate photos, keeping timelines organized, fast responses. And she said no. She said her website talks about her style of photography. And that's the problem right there. She was selling romantic candid photography with natural lights. Her clients were buying the guarantee that they wouldn't look awkward, their timeline would stay on track, and communication would be clear. It's completely different language. And when couples landed on her site, they saw information about her artistic style. But what they wanted to know was whether she'd make them feel comfortable and keep them on schedule. Her site didn't answer those questions, so they moved on. Now, here's what's interesting. She thought the problem was her portfolio or pricing, but her portfolio was amazing and her pricing was competitive for her market. The problem was language. She was speaking photographer. Her ideal clients were speaking anxious people who hate being photographed. And those are two completely different languages. And this is what I see over and over. Photographers write websites that sound impressive to other photographers, but confusing or irrelevant to actual clients. You think talking about your artistic vision makes you look professional, but your ideal client is wondering whether they'll look like themselves in those photos. If your site does not address that, they're gone. Now, most photographers hear this and think, fine, I'll just add a line about making people feel comfortable. But that's not enough, because you need to use their actual words, not your translation of their concerns, their exact language. Let me show you why this matters. So when someone reads your website and sees their exact thought reflected back, something psychological happens. They immediately feel understood. They feel like you've been in their head, and that removes all friction. Instead of thinking this photographer seems good, let me compare them to these other three, they think this photographer gets exactly what I need, I'm booking a call. And that's the difference between someone who keeps shopping around and someone who actually converts. And the crazy part is your best clients already gave you this language. It's sitting right there in your testimonials right now. You're not using it. You're filtering it through photographer brain and turning it into something professional sounding. But professional sounding does not convert. Client language does. So here's what you need to do. Stop asking AI to write your copy. That's making you sound like everyone else. Instead, use AI to understand what your clients are saying. Here's how. So collect your last 10 to 15 client testimonials. Then grab inquiry messages from people who actually booked with you, not with ghosts, the ones who turned into clients. Copy all of that into a Google Doc. Do not edit it, do not clean it up, just copy their exact words. Now, open ChatGPT or Claude, paste everything in, then give it this prompt. Analyze these testimonials and inquiry messages. Find the top 5 phrases or concerns that come up most frequently. Tell me what language patterns my best clients use and what problems they're trying to solve. The AI will scan everything and show you patterns, and I guarantee you'll be surprised. You think people hired you for your artistic style. The AI will show you they hired you because you responded in under an hour and made the process clear. You think they loved your use of a light. They loved that you did not make them feel awkward. These are the things that actually matter. This is the language you need on your website. Once you see these patterns, go rewrite your homepage. Take out the photographer jargon. Replace it with client language. Instead of I specialize in romantic candid photography with natural light, say something like, if you're nervous about looking stiff in photos, I'll guide you through everything so that it feels natural. You're speaking directly to the worry in their head, not describing your style in terms that they have to decode. So we did this for a client, the photographer I mentioned earlier. We did this with her site. Her old homepage said she creates romantic imagery with beautiful natural light for couples who value authenticity. We analyzed her testimonials. We found the patterns, rewrote her homepage. A new version said, if you're worried about looking awkward in your photos or your timeline falling apart, I'll handle both so you can actually enjoy your wedding day. Her inquiry rate went through the roof because speaking to the client is always the best option. She didn't improve her photography. She didn't change her pricing. We didn't even redesign the entire site. We just changed the language on her homepage to match what her clients actually cared about. And people started booking because now when someone reads her site, they saw their exact concern addressed, not photographer language that they had to interpret. This works everywhere, not just in your homepage. Use it in your Instagram captions. Use it in your ads, your email follow-ups. Anywhere you're communicating with potential clients, speak like they speak, not like how a photographer speaks. And most photographers write their marketing for other photographers. They want to sound professional and artistic, but clients don't care about that. They care about whether they'll look good, whether it'll be stressful, whether you will keep them on schedule, whether you'll deliver on time. If your website does not talk about these things in their words, you're losing bookings. And here's the thing, you don't have to guess what words to use because your clients already told you. Every testimonial is a blueprint for what to say on your website. Every inquiry message from someone who booked is showing you what language resonates. You're just not paying attention because you're too busy trying to sound like a photographer. So stop using AI to write generic copy that makes you blend in with anyone else. Start using it to find patterns in what your actual clients are saying. And then put those exact words on your website. And that's how you stand out when everyone else looks identical. That's how you book clients without dropping your prices. And that's how you stop losing to photographers who charge half of what you charge just because their website happened to use words that just resonated better. The language gap is real, and most photographers have it. Fix it and watch your conversion rate change. If you want more insights like this, I send one email every day to my private list, all from working with photographers and seeing what actually moves the needle. The link is in the description. Sign up, and I'll see you in the next one.